Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a new era for this channel. So this channel it's something that came out. It was born out of the creativity of myself, Ben, and my co-host, Charlie. There have been some changes, and it's been a while, and so much is going on since then. And finally, I'm able to sit down, carve a new corner in my house where I live, and trying to record something here. So after many tribulations and changing schedules and different things going on here at home, I'm finally able to sit down and record something. But first and foremost, what happened between me and Charlie? Everything is fine between me and Charlie. Charlie was feeling a little bit overwhelmed for his in his life and had many things going on, and the editing process and the recording process was taking so much out of his time. So he decided that it was too much for him and decided to leave and just do something else with his time and with his life. For my part, I decided that I wanted to continue this channel, and even if it meant that I had to continue on my own, well, that's it. Let it just happen. Among different doubts and uncertainties that I have, but hey, I'm here and I'll try to do my best. So this is everything shifting, it's still shifting and moving around. I have to try to find till I find the perfect groove and different settings and different things. So bear with me. In the meantime, so much has happened. I don't want to take what happened yesterday, that it was the attempted assassination of former President Trump, and that's something that threw social media up in arms, and people were posting like crazy. It's a huge it's a very big event, unfortunately negative, that happened in the history of our country here in the United States. And I think that has been something that has been shocking for me to learn. And I jumped on X to find out as much as I could. And I saw the first video. The president was giving this, is promoting his campaign in Pennsylvania yesterday, President Trump. And while he was in the podium, he was speaking to the crowd in front of cameras. There were loud shots, and then suddenly I saw him touching his ear and crouching down, and then go down, and multiple shots, and the crowd behind him, everybody screaming, total chaos. And he was down. The Secret Service went on him, trying to protect him. And then all of a sudden he got up. He was holding he had blood on the side of his face. And it's incredible. It was actually depends on perspective. I think it was his right ear, and he stood up and put his fist, and they took an very epic picture in that case. And he was able to stand with his fist and showing his resiliency and showing his fighting spirit. It was something incredible for me. And on the other side, I was shocked to hear to see, unfortunately, from many people leaning on the other side of the political aisle, that they were pretty much in favor. Many people were saying, unfortunately, they missed, or that is something that doesn't belong in earth or in the sky. it's incredible. We need to denounce political violence for whatever it is. And the thing that I'm the most shocked about is that the White House and President Biden, they really took their sweet time in order to denounce the events and the effect that had on, because this shook out the whole country. Let's be honest about it. It was not nothing that you could just let it go this simply, and it's something that really shook me to the core. And I was trying really looking. I was reading different accounts and everything. And as a matter of fact, today, Elon Musk said that he endorsed President Donald Trump, former President Trump in this case. And he said that he would support him and he would basically cheering for him. And at the time when I watched it, his the magnitude or the impressions, 130 million impressions, and that's something that is insane. That's incredible. And so what I was going to do, I was just going to go quickly here. We're not going to keep it that long here today. But I was looking on Business Insider, and they say that the FBI has named the 20-year-old shooting suspect in Trump assassination attempt. So they identified the suspect as Thomas Matthew Crooks, and in the Trump rally shooting, Trump was escorted to safety. The FBI has named the suspect in the shooting at former President Donald Trump Pennsylvania rally on Saturday evening. An agency representative confirmed to Business Insider early on Sunday morning that the suspect is Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. The FBI added that the investigation into the shooting remains ongoing and active, and also called for tips from eyewitnesses and anyone with information. Another curious thing that I was looking at is that after the events, somebody came up to the media and told them that they saw somebody crawling on the roof that apparently was 150 yards away from the event. And I saw a map, and it was like a straight shooting line. And that's insane. Can you just believe it? If they say that if Trump did not turn his head slightly at that, like milliseconds before the bullet could reach him, he would have been dead. Basically, he was just like a couple of inches away from his life. And that's something insane. And let's see what they say. Secret Service agents were photographed rushing off stage. Blood visible. Yeah, nothing new here. And of course, there was some disputes from people saying that the Secret Service comes under intense scrutiny for major failure following shooting at Trump rally. And that's something, yes, because I saw that the response was slower, and most likely they did not do a very good job. So what do you do when you have a large event? So what you're going to do, you have security in place, you have local police departments, and you will have these people going around and securing the most vulnerable spots in an event. And in order that a shooter doesn't sit in one place and tries to take out the person in question. And then in this case, President Trump had a Secret Service, and the response was kind of slow, because someone else was saying that when they brought the president back in, former president back inside his vehicle and trying to rush him off to the hospital, there were 3 female Secret Service agents, and one of them had really a hard time holstering her gun and they were just scrambling and looking around. Yes, that's what they're supposed to do, look around for threats. I understand that. But somehow the response was botched, and I think they could have done a better job. So let's see here. The U.S. Secret Service has come under intense scrutiny following a fatal shooting that left former President Donald Trump wounded at his rally Saturday night. Yes, the shooting killed one rally attendee. That is true. And I also saw that Tristan Tate, brother of famous forgot his name, Andrew Tate, of course, donated $10,000 to the victim's family. And that's really something nice. Big heart and a shout out for Tristan Tate. And they say rally attendee and left two others critically injured. He's being investigated. Notable figures were quick to say here, investigations to question Secret Service and its leadership following the shooting, while the investigation remains in its early stages. Law enforcement experts said that we should certainly prompt a major review of Secret Service procedure. Yeah, I mean, there were some security holes there, and somebody needs to really take into account something. It's what I found mind-boggling to me is that the reaction from the other side to this event is that they were saying like, oh yeah, we need to tone down political violence in this country and this, and we need to do this and we need to do that. But I feel like it was not heartfelt. It was like a little bit like many would say, I don't know. They would just say, "Oh yeah, we gave him we wish him a speedy recovery and this and that." I mean, most of the violence that I can recall in this past few years are mostly coming from left wing and their media apparatus. If you think about it, trying to escalate the situation, and to the point that we're here and we see what happened. And I cannot really, I mean, no matter what political ideology you follow, I mean, just look at it for what it is. I mean, truth is objective, and was an assassination attempt. And even if it was an assassination attempt toward another person that belongs to your team, you still denounce it because that's something immoral. That's something that you don't do that. We all agree on offering political discourse and freedom of speech to anybody. So you just don't go. You don't kill your opponents. And actually, they've done so much to Trump in these past few years. They call it Hitler. The deplorables, the Trump voters, deplorables, the other side, and you got all these this bad rhetoric going on in the country, and they just gave him, prosecuted him, and felonies, and convicted felon, and it's really insane. It's really insane. And let me see here. So I got somebody. So I'm on X, and they say like women should not be in Secret Service. Yeah, as a matter of fact, if I go here, I have like 30 seconds of this clip. And turn the volume down. So chaos, people screaming. Three female Secret Service, closing the door of the car, putting her glasses on, fixing her jacket. The other one trying to holster a gun, looking around. All three of them. I don't know if they knew what was going on, holding the doors again of the car, trying to escort the car, looking their back. I mean, I don't know. That's insane. Yeah. I don't know. Do you think women should be in Secret Service as in many other law enforcement positions where the risk and the danger to their life is a major aspect of the profession? I think yes, we want to be all inclusive, but we still want to acknowledge human nature. We want to acknowledge the limitations of the sexes and the genders, how they say nowadays, that you have men are bigger, they're stronger, more upper body strength, women a little bit different physically. They don't have the same athletic abilities as men do. On average, of course, you will have outliers here and there. But yeah, there is a risk. Of course, they should be in those positions. They should be trained to do so, and trained and prepared to do it. And I think it's not that it's men or women in these professions. Even I don't want to try to contradict myself. I'm saying, like, if you're trained and if you're capable, you can do, and if you can do the job effectively, of course you should. But in this case, the Secret Service have to protect with their bodies, like the person they're trying to protect, in this case, president. Therefore, if you got a crowd that is trying to push in, even if it's men, a crowd, not large number of people can push in and they can take down a limited number of people. But I guess it will be more difficult if it's a man in that position compared to a woman. But that's another thing. That's a total different thing. And then I was shocked by the reaction of the titles of the media, and it's insane. The way that CNN wrote the title of I saw their online title say that the president fell on stage, and shots, large. Who was the other one? I saw different ones that were so startling, and it's insane that the inability to call it for what it was, say attempted assassination, say gunshot at former President Trump. They say no, large, loud noises heard in a crowd in Pennsylvania rally. It's insane. What are you doing? Just tell it for what it is. And then you got Forbes here that says, will surviving gunfire be Donald Trump's next appeal to black voters? Like, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? And it's not. I don't. Yeah, of course, you got people saying things left and right. It's not. It's incredible. It's incredible. We live in crazy times, and there's so much. We're charged. The environment is on fire, in the sense that you got both sides of the aisle. There is so much division in the country, and so much hatred going around. And when you have a populace that is pitted against each other along racial lines, class lines, political lines, it's a recipe for disaster. There's no unity. There's no identity, a national identity to say. And many people would take national identity to be a negative thing nowadays, but I don't think so. Like, you could be patriotic. And also you say terms like racist or Nazis, they've been terribly diluted to mean nothing, even if you just have a political dissent, an opinion against somebody, instead, everybody should just calm down, sit down, and have a conversation and talk your differences away. It's unfortunately, you could do that in podcast formats and in long form discussions, but you cannot do that in the media because, of course, television, I think it's not a, it's, it's becoming, I don't think it already is an antiquated way to communicate because you got like 30-second snapshots. So what's your question? What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. 10 seconds to respond. So you just have these very short talking points and you really don't know what that person thinks about that particular issue. And most of the time, the short comments that they have, they're very inflammatory in order to create a reaction and to create views. And if you look at the media nowadays, if you want to be honest about it, do they really report the news? I don't think so. I mean, yeah, they do in a way, but the model is also to create viewership and to create an audience. But you tell me if you go look at the news and if you leave turn the TV off or after watching the news, you feel more angered by it, or you really feel a bad, you're gonna have a bad day if the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you turn the TV on and you listen to the news. What kind of day you're gonna have? I don't know. So my idea about the news, the media, is that they wanted to rile you up and they bombard you with these rhetoric and these messages. And nowadays they're partisan. Like you see Fox is more in the conservative side and CNN is more on the liberal side. And very few times they really tell the truth and they go across party lines. So whatever one side does, the other side denounces, and vice versa. It's a blaming game, and Republicans and Democrats, and it's a mess, and everybody gets in the middle. And if you ask me, the country has changed a lot in the past 4 years, and everything that you couldn't have thought has happened, from COVID, from de-escalations, and the world seems to be on fire. You got the Ukraine war, this proxy war that we're continuing to support, not us citizens, of course, but our leadership. And you just wonder what the hell is going on over there. And then the Israel-Palestine issue, where there appears to be a crazy thing going on there. If after the events of October 7th, you think that the justifications for that attack was going to be tens of thousands of Palestinian deaths, of course, along with I suppose some Hamas fighters terrorists died in those air raids or whatever killings that they did, but at what cost? Have you looked at Palestine nowadays? Have you looked at Gaza? I mean, it's incredible. There's nothing left. And to what lengths and to what extent you can go as far as that, as destroying a population in that case. And when does it stop? That's all I'm gonna say. When everybody's gonna chill out, and then in the conflict, Ukraine-Russia conflict, there's a continuous escalation from European nations and the United States, and it looks like there's no peace. Nobody talks about peace talks. So if we could just calm down. The world is going crazy, apparently, and I hope he's gonna get better. So you just put out there a lot of hope and hope for the best, that things are going to change for the best. At least that's all we would like to happen. and we hope that it will happen. And so we're living in very strange times, and hopefully uh, there's not going to be any other crazy things happening or any other attempted assassinations or on anyone, so that the world can suddenly become a more calmer place where civil discourse can happen. And in the meantime, we don't sleepwalk into World War III, because I remember I've heard this. Einstein said that World War III or World War IV, we fought with sticks. It's insane. Yeah, because nuclear annihilation is not something that I'm looking forward to, as anyone else should not look forward to. And but let's change topic. So what has been going on with my life since the last time that we closed last time we had the podcast with Charlie. So after the news from Charlie that we were not going to continue the podcast, I just friendly asked him to gave me the equipment so I could just continue on my own. And as a matter of fact, here I am. And it's not going to be perfect at the beginning, of course. Trying to learn and to grow from it, and do my best. And what happened? We had a bathroom remodel. Oh my goodness, it was insane. It was 2 weeks and a half of having the house upside down. You know how it is. In the meantime, we were working, and we were just running to the store. I don't know how many trips we did to Menards or Home Depot with lists and pipes and this and that. So I went to the store the first time to Menards to get material. I had a long list. So I went, and I was in the store for close to 3 hours. You believe me, it was crazy. So because I could not find my way around the store, because I didn't know where plumbing was, and then electrical, and different things, and tiles, and change this and change that. This part is not good. And how many items we returned. It was insane. Something else that happened, my son broke his clavicle in a dirt bike accident while he was doing a race with his mom. And not blaming the mom, of course. It was a race, and an enduro race. So basically he hit a tree stump in the track, and he bounced forward. Of course, it doesn't take much to break the clavicle. And we went to the ER and did a visit, x-rays, and this clavicle was pretty much broken like this. I think it was his left clavicle. And so we went to, he had surgery, they put a metal plate, he's recovering now. It happened, I think, a month and a half ago, and everything is fine now. And so he's recovering and getting better. But it's a nice summer here in Minnesota. A little bit cooler than expected. A few hot days. Last night we had a very it was raining, like you could barely see outside, and thunder and lightning and wind. It was crazy. It was not normal, not a normal summer. No normal summer weather, but we've been having a lot of water this year round, and yeah, that was really insane. It was crazy. So thank you very much for tuning in for this first episode here. We'll see. I'm really excited to follow through with this solo adventure. We'll have guests, we have solo conversations, and in the meantime, I'll see you next time, and thank you for tuning in. Bye.